Let us discuss foundation and its types. Superstructure, substructure. Part of a building that constructed above ground level is called superstructure. It includes walls, beam, column, slab, door, window, etc. Then what is substructure? It is a part of building that constructed below ground level. It includes plinth and foundation. So now coming to foundation. Structure below the surface of the ground usually supports the building. It transfers loads from structure to ground. Yes. If you are considering from superstructure to substructure, this is how load transfer mechanism occurs. First, slab load will transfer to beam. Beam load will transfer to column. Column load will transfer to foundation and finally to ground. This is for framed structure. Then bearing capacity of soil. It is a very important parameter considered in design of foundations. It is the capacity of soil to support the loads applied to the ground. Bearing capacity is given by load by area. Maximum load on foundation divided by area of footing. So all these loads, dead load, live load, wind load, seismic load, all this load will be transferred to the foundation. The total load on foundation, that is maximum load, is given by P divided by area of footing. The footing may be rectangular or square or trapezoidal, whatever may be. The area should be calculated. So load divided by area of footing will give you bearing capacity. That should come under less than allowable soil pressure, allowable bearing capacity. That particular soil will have some safe bearing capacity. It can be evaluated using soil investigation methods. Several tests have been investigated in soil, and one of the parameters is bearing capacity of the soil, which is very much required in structural design of foundations. Only after receiving the soil report, we can proceed with the structural design of foundation. Next, requirements of a good foundation. It should well enough to carry the loads. That may be dead load or imposed loads and other loads. Dead load is the self weight of the structure. That may be due to slab, beam, column, wall, whatever may be, permanent weight. Imposed loads may be the load due to occupancy or use. These loads need to be transmitted to subsoil in such a way that pressure on it does not cause settlement. The next, foundation should be rigid so that differential settlements are minimized. And then foundation should safeguard the building against damage or distress caused by swelling, shrinkage of the subsoil. We should plan the location of foundation in such a way that unexpected future influence should not affect the foundation. Accordingly, the location of foundation should be chosen. Then coming to types of foundation. The broad classification is shallow and deep. Shallow foundation includes isolated, combined, strip or mat. Deep foundation includes pile and caisson. Now coming to isolated footing. It is done for a single column. It is also called a pad foundation. Most of the residential building may be G+1 or G+2. If the soil condition is good, it gets okay with the isolated footing. If the SBC is good, we can prefer isolated footing. If the SBC is very low, then we have to opt for another types of footing. The shape of footing may be square or rectangular based on the structural design requirement. Next, combined footing. Combined footing is constructed when two or more columns are close enough and the isolated footings overlap each other. Suppose you can see the sketch. If this column footing gets overlapped with the second column footing, then it is not advisable to put separate footing. Better we can go with the combined footing. This overlapping can be prevented by providing a common mat footing like this. The shape of the individual footing is rectangular or trapezoidal based on the location or design requirements. Next, strip footing. It has more base area so that it will ensure better stability and the load carrying capacity will be quite good due to the wider base area. Sometimes it may be connected with this kind of strap beam. Next, raft or mat foundation. Raft or mat foundation is preferred when the load coming from the column to the foundation is very heavy or high. N number of columns can be connected using a single mat or raft. You can see in this image 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 columns are there in the image. We are giving a common mat over this. Sometimes local thickening or reinforcement may also be given due to some shear considerations or other. Next, pile and caisson will come under deep foundation. Pile foundation is a type of deep foundation which is used to transfer heavy loads from the structure. Pile will be laid till hard rock strata. It is very much deep below the ground level. Pile will be preferred in 3 cases. 1, loading will be very heavy. 2, soil SBC is very low. 3rd, structure may have some uplift forces due to earthquake or wind force. Next, caisson. It will have some auger arrangement through which the soil slurry is removed. After that, the concrete element will be placed inside the ground. It resists load from structure through shaft resistance, toe resistance, or the combination of both shaft and toe resistance. We'll add few more points using board. Before laying any isolator footing, the soil below will be well compacted. The soil below will be well compacted. After compaction, PCC is laid. For 75 mm thickness. First, the earth is well compacted. We can call it as a well compacted earth. Over that PCC is laid and over that slab of the isolated footing will be started. This isolated footing will have, if you consider the plan, isolated footing will have reinforcement in both directions. That is x and y direction. So this is about isolated footing. Next, combined. You can see the section of a combined footing. It will have a bottom rod. Over that, top rods are placed. This is one column and this is another column. This is your slab thickness. It may be, in plan it may be rectangular, or sometimes it may be trapezoidal. So these are the shapes of a combined footing. To add a few points in SBC, suppose this is your footing and you will have the ground level here. Mostly the bottom of footing will be placed at the point where SBC is sufficient or good. Not all the point in a area will have same SBC. Normally soil test will done at certain intervals, and accordingly with certain intervals soil test will be carried out. Accordingly the footing is laid. Different depth will have different SBC. For example, in minus 2.5 meter you will have some SBC, and in minus 3.5 meter you will have another SBC. Not all the depth will have same SBC. Hard rock strata will be present somewhere. Pile foundation will be taken to that hard strata. The bottom of pile I am saying. The structural design of this isolated footing, combined footing and pile foundation will be discussed in reinforced concrete design, and these geotechnical parameters will be discussed in geotechnical engineering subject. So this is about some prerequisite required for your foundation.